Hey there, welcome back to Reddit XO, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these.
I found out there is no business trip. I, 30M, wanted to leave a gift at her, 27F, desk at work for her birthday while she was on her business trip. When I got there, I found out that there was no business trip. She had been calling out sick, as did the coworker she told me I had nothing to worry about. She had been sending me photos of her hotel room and all the sightseeing she was doing. I'm an acquaintance of his wife, so after I contacted her on FB, I got her number and talked on the phone. Same story, he was on a business trip, and they had been exchanging photos of similar sites. That's when I explained to her what I found out. She was silent for a while, then told me he had cheated on her many times apparently, and she's actually been working on serving him with divorce papers while under the guise of reconciliation. She apologized profusely, but of course none of this is her fault. She called their workplace to find out on her own. They told her the same thing, he called out sick. So, here we are, my GF is still texting me like normal, pretending she's sitting at a boring meeting. I'm extremely distraught and my anxiety is at an all-time high, but, surprisingly, I'm not crying this time. This isn't the first time I was cheated on. I realized how much of a fool I had been. I saw the red flags, but I once again ignored them, thinking I just had trust issues that I needed to work on. I packed all her stuff and will wait for her to come back tonight. Update. AP's wife confirmed that the papers will be served Monday, and that she's not worried about any blowback from me confronting my ex. So I went ahead and confronted her. I will paste what I said. I know you're not on a business trip. I packed your stuff and left them outside for you. You'll have to find your own ride from the airport. Am beyond heartbroken and angry that everything we had built together meant nothing to you. I hope he was worth it. I am totally messed up in the head ATM, so I don't know when the next update will come, but I will make sure to do so. I appreciate all the suggestions, comments, and words of support. She's blowing up my phone, so I blocked her number. Her sister tried to reach me, so I informed her of the situation. She's shocked, embarrassed, and upset. She will drive my ex from the airport and help pick up her stuff. I have her spare key, so there's no need to worry about my safety. Someone suggested taking a vacation from it all. I might actually do that, but first I need some time to get myself right again. I had an anxiety attack. Very nearly called my ex too, out of habit. That realization made me even more sad. This sucks. Update. 1. So apparently AP's wife, let's just call her Jenny, inquiry, along with mine, set off a flag at their company HR, and they decided to investigate. Makes sense, you would think a married woman would know her husband was sick at home. So the cat's out of the bag. She told them everything. I'm my ex's emergency contact, so they tracked my number and contacted me about half an hour ago, asking how she was doing. She called out sick and hasn't responded in a few days. I told them everything as well. She wasn't sick. She had told me she was on a business trip but lied. She went on a trip with that asshole and is cheating on me with him. Everything just spilled out. I guess I still have so much bottled up I need to let out. So that's still developing ATM. Meanwhile, since I'm up, I might as well update you all. So shortly after I texted my ex yesterday, and she started blowing up my phone, Jenny texted me that AP has been texting her, being much more communicative than normal, and eventually asked if anything was up and what she was doing. She played along. This pretty much confirms that him and my ex were together. My ex and her sis came and picked up her stuff after they landed last night. They didn't knock, I didn't open the door. After they were done, they sat in their car for a while. I could see her sister's hand gestures moving frantically as they talked. Maybe she was lecturing her or what, I dunno. She was clearly upset. Ex was buried in her own hands. After a while she got out and knocked on my door. A lot of Redditors suggested completely ghosting her, but I decided I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to know what she had to say for herself, and I wanted to see her cry. Boy, what a shit show. It was painful. Lying, gaslighting, deflecting. It meant nothing. She begged to work it out and promised to block him on everything, she'd keep her phone unlocked, etc. At one point she even tried to guilt-trip me. I asked her to show me her phone. She refused. She refused. I was done. I told her to get out of my face and never contact me again. She burst further into tears and pleaded until she eventually agreed to give me her phone. I found everything on FB Messenger. Sexts, nudes, videos. Conversations about me, how clueless I was, how she felt guilty, but was too horny to care ATM. I took screenshots and sent them to myself, which I later forwarded to Jenny. Gave her back her phone and told her it was over. Not gonna lie, it still hurt watching her cry in such despair. But I had to remind myself that she's not sorry she cheated, she's only sorry she got caught. She knew I had been cheated on before, and how traumatic that was for me. It didn't matter. She was willing to risk throwing away 5 beautiful years together. And for what? I closed the door and talked with my mom and dad on the phone for a while, and then pretty much cried myself to sleep. I told Jenny that I was here for her if she needed any help or support, and if she needed a place to stay she is more than welcome to stay with me and my brother. I'm already dreading today. I don't know what to do with myself ATM. I can't even get back to sleep. Update 2. Jenny, AP's wife, called me to tell me that AP and my ex-husband had both been dismissed from their jobs. Not only that, but he was also served with divorce papers on the same day as well. They got into a heated dispute, and he started smashing doors and hitting things. Despite the fact that he never touched her, she still does not feel comfortable in his company. Due to the fact that her parents are in Korea, she will be staying with me until she can find a place of her own. My brother is now in active duty, thus his room is available. Regarding my ex-girlfriend, I've learned from her sister that she has returned to her parents' home and has been sobbing continually. It is unclear whether she has left the residence since then or whether she has spoken to anyone. Her father called me a couple of days ago to express his regret. He had always been silent, cold, and aloof over the years that I had known him, but when I called him, he was quite kind and comforting, offering me some much-needed words of consolation and guidance. As for myself, I'm not doing well at all, but I understand that these issues need time to resolve. I've been here before, but it still hurts the same as it did the first time. It's been 5 years since the start of the project. The only person in this world I could turn to and open myself to, she was my rock. Now I can no longer do so. Was it all worth it in the end? Is it possible that all those 5 years were designed for you? She was a person of high character who was self-sufficient, diligent, and trustworthy. Always in control, you could tell she was on the fast track to success and success would find her. You couldn't help but want to stay on top of your game because of her intensity. Nevertheless, I'm beginning to wonder if I even know who she is anymore. Everyone is aware of what she has done. I made a mistake and opened out to someone who had a big tongue, because I was feeling vulnerable. Several of her close friends are outraged, and they accuse me of doing it on purpose in order to get even with her. I really don't want to get into a debate with folks who were aware of her affair throughout the entire process. One of them even encouraged it to take place. They were never a favorite of mine. I always believed my ex-girlfriend was so far above them that she appeared to be completely out of place. But now I know exactly where she got it from, her boyfriend. It's heartbreaking and disheartening to witness her fall so far from grace. I plan to begin boxing with a friend next week, and he will also teach me on nutrition, and how to eat a more nutritious diet in general. I've been aching to try my hand at grilling, and right now I'm thinking about taking out my brother's Weber and giving it a go to see how it goes. I'm making an effort to keep myself occupied. Because I work from home, everything still has a strong resemblance to her. Someone suggested that we rearrange the furniture in the house. That's a fantastic idea, in my opinion. That's all I have for you in terms of news updates. I don't believe there will be any more, but if anything significant happens, I will post an update. Thank you so much for all of your help, encouragement, nice thoughts, and suggestions. Oops, forgot to mention that I've been granted the option to fly to New Orleans for next month on the cheap. Ginny and I are considering taking a vacation to get away from all of this nonsense. We've never been before, and since we're both foodies, this might be exactly what we're looking for.